Hi everyone, my name is Miss Tina and today we are at the Palos Heights Public Library for our Fall Luminary craft. And yeah, we're going to make it together, and if you come to the Palos Heights Library and you say that you want to do the Fall Luminary craft, this is what you are going to get. You're going to get a jar, and all of the contents that you need for the craft are in the jar. So now I'm going to shift my camera down and we are going to make this craft together. So shift it down a little bit more. Okay, so like I said, you're going to get all the contents in the jar, and we're just going to unpack everything. So this is some Mod Podge. It's the glossy Mod Podge that you're going to get to make this craft, and it's just going to be in one of these containers. You are also going to get some straw. I'm going to lay this out over here. And instructions. And you are going to get a flameless tea light, and it should go on. There we go. I'm going to turn it off right now and put it to the side. And you are going to get about 4 or 5 leaves to decorate your mason jar. Okay, so here are all the supplies. Let's go through everything. So we got our fall leaves. You can use fall real or fake leaves if you'd like, whatever you prefer. We have our mason jar. I'm going to put the lid over to the side because we don't need that just yet. And we got our Mod Podge, and you can get a sponge or a paintbrush. Now this is not included in the craft kit, but if you, like I said, grab a sponge brush or a paintbrush, either one will work just fine to help you move the Mod Podge. And you are going to get some straw and a flameless candle. Okay, so first things first, what I am going to do is I'm just going to take a look at my leaves, and I'm going to make sure that they're all okay to use. Now, this one has a stem on it. I'm actually going to grab a pair of scissors and I'm going to remove the stem just because I think that it'll probably stick better without the stem. And in fact, I'm going to see, yep, I can remove this whole thing altogether. So I don't even need the scissors. I'm just going to put the stem to the side because I don't want it. I just want my nice colorful leaf. I think it'll stick easier without it. Okay, so if you look at the instructions, it says the first thing you need to do is use your brush to add a coat of the Mod Podge to the inside of the jar. So that is what we are going to do. Take this out. And I'm going to put my sleeves up just in case this craft gets a little messy. And I'm going to dip my sponge brush and just kind of add a layer to the inside of the jar. Now, like I had mentioned before, this is the glossy Mod Podge. It's not the matte. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that layer. And a little bit goes a long way, so I'm not going to make a really super thick coat because I don't think that's necessary. If you can see, I'm just painting the inside of the jar and adding a thin layer. And you just want to make sure that it is fully coated. A little bit more. Okay, and I also want to put some at the bottom of the jar. So I'm going to add a thin layer to the bottom. Perfect. All right, and my jar is nice and covered with the Mod Podge. So now I'm going to take a look at my leaves and I'm going to figure out how I want to arrange it. So I probably don't want to put the 2 red leaves on the same side because I only have 2 red leaves. So I'm going to put one on each side. And I got this one that has some brown printing on it that I'm probably going to just put right there. And then I have a larger yellow orangish leaf and a smaller one. So now I know how I want to arrange it. So I am going to go ahead and just put some more Mod Podge on the inside of the jar and probably put some on the leaf just to help it stay in place a little bit. And we're going to put our red leaf right in there. So I'm going to put it in and I'm just going to stick it right there. Okay, it's not wanting to stick right now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the jar dry for a little bit with what I have on it, and then we'll come back and we'll add some leaves, okay? So we'll be back soon. Okay, friends, we are back to finish up our Fall Luminary candles. So last time we left off, I was putting Mod Podge all over the jar, and I did manage to put some leaves on there, so those leaves stuck on there. And I'm putting a little bit more Mod Podge on this leaf just because I want it to stick a bit more to the jar. So I'm going to hold my finger there for we'll see about 20 seconds, and I'm also going to be Mod Podging the rest of these leaves into the jar. So my leaves are actually, they're pretty crinkly, so I need to kind of put extra Mod Podge and put a little bit more time into making sure that they go ahead and they form to the jar. So I think that this one is just about stuck on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it and put another leaf in here. So as you see, I've been kind of putting more Mod Podge on this leaf, because this is the next one I'm going to stick. And really just put the leaves in here to your preference. So I have like an orange one, then I have a red one, and I think I'm going to put another yellow orangish one on this side. And let's see, I have this one going to the side. I have a leaf staying upright, so I think I'm going to put this leaf upside down then, just to give it a little bit of more of a variety. And I'm going to do the same thing with this leaf. I'm just going to hold it to the end here to make sure that it sticks to the jar. And it's also sticking to my finger, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other end of this stick to go ahead and hold it in place then, so that it's not sticking to my finger or coming off when I move my finger. And this is working out better. And it's definitely less messy on you too if you use the other end of the stick or just something else to go ahead and hold it in place. Okay, so that works out great for this leaf. So now I'm going to put the other leaves on, and I have another red one, a nice mini red one. And I'm going to add some Mod Podge too. And a little bit goes a long way, so I definitely put more in the kits than you need. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit. You don't need much. And we'll probably put this leaf up here. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just use my brush to go ahead and hold it in place. Probably just want to make sure that it stays there for about like 15 to 20 seconds, and then it's going to be safe to remove your stick or whatever you're using to hold it. I will say that like as the closer to the top of the jar that you get, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to hold it in place just because it curves more. So I think that this one is about done. Perfect. And we have one more leaf here, and I am just going to use this nice open space to go ahead and put that leaf in. And remember that you're going to Mod Podge the leaf that is part of the leaf that you want everyone else to see. So I don't care if people see like the inside of the leaf. So I would rather that they see the outside of the leaf. So that's what I'm putting the Mod Podge on. And then we're just going to go ahead and adhere this to the jar. And I got my stick here to help me keep this in place. And we're going to hold it there for same time, about 15-20 seconds, just to make sure that it sticks well. And the good thing about this Mod Podge is that it doesn't dry white. It gives it kind of a glossy effect. So you can see that with this jar, this leaf, I'm sorry, that is like fully dry and it's sticking to the jar. So you don't see the Mod Podge that I had placed on there, which is definitely neat. It kind of gives it like a cleaner look. And this one is almost sticking. Just give it a little bit more time. And yeah, I think I need to play with this one a bit more. So I'm going to hold it in place for a bit longer, and I'm just going to go ahead and pause the video right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, I'm back, and I have all of my leaves are in a place that I am pretty much pleased with. You do see that some of the Mod Podge here hasn't dried quite yet, but we're still going to go ahead and finish this video. And, you know, it's completely up to you and your preference, but I kind of like that not all of the leaf, that all parts of the leaf are just up against the glass jar. So I'm just going to leave it like that. If you'd like, I recommend starting with putting just a little bit of the Mod Podge on a leaf, just enough for it to stick and have it in place, because if you put too much Mod Podge, then it's just not going to stick. It's going to go do its own thing. It's going to like keep on falling off if you use these particular fake leaves in our kit. So if you want to go ahead and put a little bit of Mod Podge on the leaves and then just have enough for it to stick to the jar, that I think would work out better. So after the rest of these leaves kind of dry and stick to the jar, then I might just Mod Podge the rest of it flat against the jar, or I might just leave it like this. I haven't quite decided yet. So after your leaves are in place and your jar is kind of pretty much done, you can go ahead and take the flameless tea light that we provided in the kit, and it's pretty easy. You just go ahead and you slide the switch to on, and here's our flameless tea light. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that in here. Okay. Neat. And then I am going to go ahead and take the straw that is also included in our kit, and I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it around, and we are going to make a little bow with the straw. Just a little added decor to help bring your luminary together. Let's try rewrapping that. Yeah, this part fell off, and that's okay. There we go. And we'll make our bow. And if you'd like, you can cut off any excess. So I might just try and hold the bow in place right there like that. Perfect. And you know, I'm going to see if I can turn off a light here, the light in here, to really give it that special luminary effect. So let's see. Perfect. And this is as dark as I can get it. But here is our fall luminary. And I'm sure that once all of the Mod Podge dries out, it's going to look even more awesome. So there we go, friends. I hope that you enjoyed making this craft as much as I did. And this is definitely one of those crafts that you can just have at the dinner table for Thanksgiving or Halloween, and yeah, nothing to it. So please come to the library and pick up your supplies to make this fall luminary craft at home. Thanks. See you next time.